Hi guys, hope you're well and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be answering all your questions that you left me over on Instagram. So a few weeks ago I made a post and I asked you to ask me all your questions, whether they were cleaning related, personal related or something else. And today, the first part of my Q&A, I'm going to split this up because I had quite a few questions, but the first part of my Q&A is going to be a cleaning related Q&A. I have decided to dedicate a whole video to this because I had so many cleaning questions and I just thought, instead of me kind of sporadically sharing them all out, because I know some of you just love my cleaning questions and answers and watching my cleaning stuff, I thought I'd dedicate a whole video to it so I could answer them all in one go. So I'm going to jump straight in and give you all of my answers to all of your questions. So I'm going to have my phone in this video. I have quite a lot of questions to answer, so I'm just going to scroll through. Okay, so the first one that I've got is from the Instagram handle GeorgeX, and she says, how do you manage to keep your house so clean with 2 kids? So thank you for your comment. So what I would like to say first of all is my house is not always clean. My house does get extremely really messy. There is always mess in my house in one room or another at the moment because we're always moving stuff and doing decor and things like that. This room that I'm in at the moment is the spare room, which is my dressing room and study and things like that, and that always tends to have a little bit of mess in. So what you're not seeing right now is the fact that there is a big pile of stuff where I've been filming in here, and I've got bits that my husband needs to put up in the loft, and we're going on holiday next week, so I've got suitcases and things like that. However, the majority of my house is tidy everywhere else, and I just do it by keeping on top of it really. There is no real trick. I have little mini routines that I do in the morning, the night. I'll always keep on top of stuff during the day. So when I wake up in the morning, I'll empty the dishwasher. I'll make sure that all the boys' dishes and plates and cups go straight into the dishwasher once they're finished using them. I'll make sure that I clear up the table after they've left. I always make sure the beds are made in the morning. The shutters are open. Obviously they're not open at the moment, but that's because I'm filming. But all of the shutters get opened up, and I just kind of keep on top of it like that. Generally I like to clean the bathrooms here and there whenever I'm kind of feeling like it. I don't have a set day that I would do them, but yeah, I just like to kind of try and keep on top of stuff. And of an evening I always do kind of like a big kind of manic speed clean whilst the boys are either before they go to bed or once they're in bed, and me and my husband kind of go around and do it together and really power it together as well. So that always helps. Okay, so the next question I have is from somebody called Alice Sterling, and she said, do you do anything more than just hoovering your carpets? Do you carpet clean them or put powder down? She also has a few other questions, so I'm going to answer them all separately. So with regards to my carpets, I mainly just hoover them. I don't really put anything on them. In my living room carpets, you will see, and I will leave a link below for you as well, but I use the Dr. Beckman stain remover. It is a godsend. I have used quite a few different ones. There was one called like 1001 or something like that I used to use, but I'm not a massive fan of it. I used to pick that up in a lot of the bargain shops, but Dr. Beckman is definitely in Home Bargains, or you can get them quite cheap on Amazon as well, and you get a couple of them in a pack. Since I found it, it's been a godsend. It's kind of got this bristle brush on the end. Every now and then I will kind of use the shaken back stuff on my carpets, and my carpets are quite new, so I haven't had to do any deep cleans, but I've had cream carpets in every single house that I've had. In our rented house we laid new cream carpets down when we moved in, and in the house before we had cream carpets. And I would just use, when the carpets got really bad, a big kind of carpet cleaner, like a Rug Doctor, or my dad had a Vax one, so I would just kind of go over them. But that was literally like, I did that twice I think, and I didn't do it in my old house at all. So that's really kind of how I maintain my carpets, and I find that by going over and wiping up any stains when they happen and then going over it with the Dr. Beckman, that really helps keep them looking new and clean. So the next question that Alice asks are, what are your worst cleaning bugbears in your own home, other people's home, and when you are out and about? I am really bad. So when I go on holiday and things like that, I hate using the bathrooms, getting in the bed sheets. I feel like everything is so unhygienic because I don't know where they've been or how they've been cleaned. It really freaks me out, to the point that it can ruin a holiday. So we went away when Klayton was 5 months old, and we went to Crete, and we went to a really lovely hotel, and it was part of a chain which I absolutely love and swear by, and we've been to multiple hotels of this holiday chain. And we went there, and oh my goodness, the bathroom kind of had mould in it, the bath had mould in it, the shower had mould in it, the sheets didn't look clean, the travel cot I refused to let Klayton sleep in because it was that bad. I just hate the idea of germs and bugs and anything like that. So that would probably, just being out in itself is just horrid. My biggest bugbear for my own home would probably be my white gloss tiles on my floor. I have porcelain white tiles in my hallway, my kitchen and my bathroom. Anyone that tells you that white porcelain tiles are easy to clean are lying. Point blank, they are not easy to maintain. One crumb drops on them, they look dirty. That crumb then spreads, they look dirty. I currently still live on a building site, and every time I walk in and out, I always take my shoes off, but drips of mud and dirt, oh, they look horrid within seconds. And my friend's probably watching this and she knows exactly who she is, and she knows how much they bug me, to the point that I've actually asked my husband if we can lay grey gloss tiles now, because I can't stand the mess. And if any of you have boys, you will also know that their toilet habits are not the best, and him going a toilet around my white gloss tiles with grout, not good. I think we're going to look to change our grout when we redo it, because it needs to be redone already. We have already had to kind of top it out once and kind of paint over it with like the little grout colouring pens that you get, and I scrub it non-stop. But my biggest bugbear for when I'm in other people's homes, I don't really have a bugbear for other people's homes. Everyone's houses are their own houses, and everyone kind of works in their own way. I don't really have any bugbears for other people's homes. No, I don't. I really don't. Obviously, everyone works in their own ways. They do things their own way. If a house was really, really dirty and messy and it looked like what you see on the telly when you see like those clutter hoarder people, ugh, I wouldn't be able to do that. But no, I don't have any bugbears for other people's homes. And then another lady asked, where did I buy my white knife set that's in my kitchen? I bought that from Amazon. I will leave the link down below for you. I don't know if it's still available. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I love the block, but I've actually already changed the knives. The knives, they had like a plasticky covering around the top, and it all came away. But the block I love, and it's stunning. So if you want it for the block and you're happy with other knives, all I've done is literally swap some cheaper knives in. I had some knives from Tesco and they work perfectly and they were really cheap, but the block itself is fab. Okay, so I have somebody else called Ali Bradley 156, and she has said that she has a nice new ensuite fitted. Love that. And she's determined to keep it nice and clean. And do I have any advice or tips to keep it like new? I squeegee the shower after use and give it a better clean once a week, but not sure it's enough. I have done a few different things with my ensuite and my shower. So first of all, I try to not let anything sit on the floor in the shower area. So you would have seen in my home bargains haul, I've recently bought a new shower caddy. I've actually returned the one from Next. To anyone that was asking after that, I've returned it. I didn't even bother putting the second one up. It was £40, and in my opinion, it wasn't that fab. I went and bought this one from Home Bargains. I think it was at £2.99 or something like that. It was really cheap. It literally hooks over my door. When I'm cleaning the shower, I can pull it all out. The one from Next, you couldn't pull out without it kind of all toppling over. It was hard to get in and out. And this one, obviously, nothing sits on the ground. So the one from Next, the pole sat on the ground and mould would kind of secrete around it. This one, again, because it's at the very top, doesn't. So a big tip for me in terms of keeping my shower clean would be to have everything kind of up and away from the ground so no mold kind of gets down the bottom. I also use a daily cleaner in my shower, so every time that I'm in the shower I have one that I use. I'll try and insert a clip of it for you so you can see what it looks like, but I have ones that I alternate between. One I think is a Mr. Muscle one, although I could be wrong, and it's a glass one. I'm not sure if we've got any of that left at the moment, but we've currently been using the Method one, which is like a daily bathroom clean one. I literally just spray it all over my tiles and all over my shower doors and things like that, and it just kind of helps maintain it. And then what I normally do is I'll spray that in last thing at night after we've had our showers, because that's when we shower in this house, and it just tends to keep everything done. And then again, I would just do a weekly clean. I don't really bother with too much unless I can see something building up. I just won't bother with anything else. Oh, actually, and if I do start to notice that some of the mold, like on new ensuite tiles, they go like a pinky stained colour. There is an Astonish bathroom and mold and mildew that I've been using. I picked it up from Home Poundland, actually. I think it was in a Poundland haul that I did last year. I picked it up, and ever since I have been loving it. It was £1, obviously, and it is really, really good. You spray it on, and in my old house that I rented, they had loads of mold in their bathroom that was there before we moved in, and this got rid of the lot. So I would 100% recommend that. Again, leave it on, let it power its way through, leave it on overnight. It's great. The next question I have is from a lady called Mrs. BS Knits, and it is, what is your favourite cleaning brand? Gosh, I don't think I have a cleaning brand. I use very different products all around my house for different reasons. So at the moment I'm absolutely loving Dr. Beckman for the carpets. I love Zoflora because it's multi-purpose and I can use it in so many places, and it always makes my kitchen smell amazing. So I love Zoflora. Method I love as a cleaner. I've had someone recently debating with me about why I use it and blah blah blah. I use it because I love it. They smell amazing and they're meant to be non-toxic and better than kind of what your average Dettol and stuff are. I also love the Unstoppables for my washing. I have loads of things that I love. I may even do an updated favourites, but I did do a favourite video of my cleaning products. Oh, I love Viacal for lime scale and stainless steel and polishing it all up. It is amazing. I have so many different favourite cleaning products for different areas of my home, but I will link below the video that I did with all of my top 10. I think it was my top 10 favourite cleaning products that I used at the time, and I will link that below for you so you can go and check that out. So the next one that we have is, where do the tiles come from in my kitchen? I'm currently renovating my kitchen and love those tiles. My tiles were from Tons of Tiles. I got it off of another lady on my Instagram because I loved her tiles. I was searching high and low, and one thing that I would say is you have got to look everywhere for tiles if you want to get the right colour. I got so many different samples of grey tiles for my kitchen. I got them from Tops Tiles, Victoria Plum, and all these little individual private companies as well that I found, that kind of like smaller tiling companies. I got them from Tile Mountain, which is where I got my downstairs tiles from, that my white porcelain ones. I go to so many different places before I'm set on them because they look one colour on the internet and when they arrive they're completely different. Not only that, they arrive in different batches, so the colours can be different. So somebody might have had them from like a year or 2 years ago and their colour could have changed. So you always want kind of the current colour they've got in that current batch as and when you order them. But yeah, I got mine from Tons of Tiles. I found that there were lots of grey tiles that were either too dark grey, or they were beigey grey or greeny grey or bluey grey, and these were the lightest grey that I could find on the market that were actually grey, and I love them. And they were really cheap as well, like super cheap. So the next question that I have is from new_build_inspired, and she has asked me what is my favourite home scent for candles, room sprays or diffusers. Gosh, okay, diffusers is an easy one. I love Next diffusers. I have loved them for years and years and years. My nan has always bought them for me. I bought them for myself. I think that they last forever. They are a little bit more pricier than what you would pay elsewhere, but you cannot beat them in terms of scent and price and how long lasting they are. I think I had last year the New York one. I think it was New York. It was in a silver bottle, but they've changed loads of them now. And I haven't obviously got it anymore. It was amazing. That smelled fab. And at the moment, again, I've tagged this in another video. I think it might have been in my March favourites, but it's the Velvet or Veriva and Tonka Bean from Next. It's in a gold bottle. Again, that one is stunning, smells amazing, and I also love kind of all their fresher scents they do as well. So I would definitely recommend them for diffusers. For candles, Paddy Wax candles, you can't beat them. Again, I've mentioned them in my favourites, and the reason why I mention them in my favourites and bang on about them so much is because they really are a favourite. Paddy Wax candles seem to be so long lasting. They have great fab scents that are kind of original and different. So I would definitely recommend you try a Paddy Wax candle if you can. And for a room spray, I'm not a big room spray person, to be honest with you. I normally find that my house is scented with either Zoflora or diffusers or candles. I don't really have a room spray favourite, although I have seen one recently on somebody else's account that I want to try. I can't remember for the life of me what it's called, but I'm going to buy it, so if I like it I'll let you know about it in the future. Okay, so the next question that I have is from Miss MG Brown, and she said, how will you find the balance of upkeep of your house in terms of cleaning, etc., when you return to work, and juggling that with looking after / spending time with your children? And she also asked me some other questions which I'll answer in a second. So for me, I'm not quite sure if I am returning to work at the moment. There have been a lot of circumstances that have changed, and I think I'm going to film another video about that. However, just in terms of where we live now, what I used to do for work, it wouldn't necessarily work now. We don't have childcare. We're family local for our children. Plus, obviously, I don't live anywhere near where I used to work because we did a big relocation whilst I was on maternity leave, and my husband's job has changed in the meantime, which meant we was going back home and now we're not. So I'm not quite sure. Plus, finding a new job, I've been hunting high and low for quite a few months now, and nothing seems to work in terms of pay and childcare money and things like that. So I'm going to go into that in another video, I think, because I think it's a dilemma that a lot of parents would face. So please leave a comment below if you'd like to see that. However, for me, when I did work and I had Klayton, I worked full time and I actually found it easier to keep my house tidy, which I know sounds crazy, but for me, he would have breakfast, lunch and dinner the majority of the time at nursery, or he might have like a second top-up dinner at home because he always eats. But he would have all of them at home, at nursery, sorry. And for me, that meant that there was 3 meals of the day that I wasn't preparing to make my sides and my floors and the high chairs and everything else messy. So that saved a lot of time out of the day just preparing those meals and doing those things. And it saved a lot of mess in my house. There wasn't as many bowls and dishes to wash up and cups and things like that. Likewise, he wasn't at home all day to literally tornado my house. So I know you guys think my house is tidy, but Klayton gets out literally the majority of his toys on a daily basis, and we go around and we tidy them up. I actually think I want to show you all, but he actually does a mini speed clean himself, which is so funny. When his dad's on the way home from work, I would literally be like, Daddy's on his way home, and he's like, oh quick, let's make the house tidy before Daddy comes home. I mean, he knows the drill obviously, but he'll run around and do a little mini speed clean of his toys, which is so funny and I love it. But he keeps on top of his toys now, but back then he never did. And obviously if they're at home all day, they're making a mess of his toys. He's then making a mess in his bedroom. He's making a mess in the bathrooms. He's just everywhere. So I actually find it easier being at work, and likewise my husband's not at home either, but when I was working, it would literally just be a case of me and my husband always worked together as a team. We had a good routine. We would come home and we would always make sure that we would tidy up and get the majority of stuff tidied. So I would hoover every night and mop every day in our old house, and that would always be of an evening. And my husband would meanwhile clean the kitchen sides after we'd had our dinner and load up the dishwasher, and we would kind of be ready to go for the morning. And then extra things like the bathroom and stuff like that, I would just slot in as and when. So if I was having a shower of an evening, I might quickly give it a going over, and then it wouldn't take as long of the weekends. And that was kind of how I juggled the time. And then the days that I had with Klayton were solely focused on him then, and it didn't really cut into any of his time because he was already in bed. And then the next question was also, how long do you spend cleaning every day, or do you just do one big clean? I don't think I could put a limit on how much cleaning I do a day. I do clean quite a bit, but not to the point that it's over the top. Like, I don't enjoy cleaning that much to start with. I love cleaning to have a clean house. I don't enjoy the process of getting to it, but when I'm in the mood to do it, which is generally every day, there's a point in the day where I'm in the mood to do a clean. So again, I wouldn't be able to put a time on it, but like I said at the beginning of this video, in another question, I do little things throughout the day to keep and maintain everything, and then generally at the end of the days I will go around and blast it with the hoover and the mop, and that will kind of clean that. And then again in segments I will clean the bathrooms. Like, I generally like to go around the toilets a couple of times a day. I will go around and do maybe wipe around the sinks in the bathrooms, and then when I do them focused, obviously I make sure that every room has been dusted and fully cleaned once a week. Whether that be the kitchen, the bathroom, every room will have its clean at least at one point. And obviously by doing so, it means that the house is clean and tidy, and I don't have to spend as much time on that room. So if I've already hoovered my bedroom, and maybe I've already changed my bed sheets on another day, like generally I like to change the bed sheets on a Sunday and things like that, and just by doing the shutters and the bed sheets and kind of going over the windows and things like that, when it comes to cleaning my bedroom, all that I then need to do is dust and polish my work surfaces, and I'm generally done. So I don't really have to waste too much time then. Okay, so the next question that I have is from Matty 181095, and he says, how would you get your partner into cleaning and not just the tidying, as he says he hates cleaning? Okay, so my husband hates cleaning, and he hates how much I love a clean home as well. He doesn't understand why my house has to be so clean all the time and why everything has to be so tidy and put away. He hates it when I nag him every single day, which I do, but I do everything for him. The majority of stuff, on a daily basis, I have to go around and put wires away after he wakes up in the morning and pick up his dirty clothes. Like, sometimes he'll put them in a pile, other times he just forgets. I go around, I make all the beds. He just can't seem to help himself in terms of, he'll make a cup of tea and leave the spoon in one place, the cup in another that he's left, tea bag in another place, leave the milk out on the side. Whereas me, if I make a cup of tea, I will boil the kettle, put the kettle back. put the tea bag straight into the bin bag, put the spoon straight into the dishwasher. Once I finish my tea, the tea will go either in the sink if I'm going to reuse the cup and wash it through, or straight into the dishwasher if I know I'm not planning to anymore. So for me, it's kind of a logical process of tidy up as I go along. Not so much for him. However, he would not be able to live in a dirty home. So as much as he doesn't feel the need for it to be as clean as I do, he does feel the need, like, for it to be cluttered would get him down as well. I don't really get him to clean. I don't force him to clean. I will ask him to clean and ask him multiple times to probably clean the same place. So for example, we was out in the garden on Friday. Today is Monday. I've been asking him for the last 2 days to get rid of all the mud that he's left by my front door on the mat, because I didn't want to do it myself. It's now Monday. I'm now doing it. I mean, I'm fed up of looking at it. There are some days where I will try and encourage him to do more stuff. He just doesn't do it. But in general, he's really, really good at helping me around the home. If I ask him, can you quickly run upstairs and clean the bathroom for me, babe? As much as he won't do it to the level and standard that I really want him to, he'll do it to an okay-ish level that would be happy for other people. He also helps me out loads with the boys, and obviously when they go to bed we will quickly power hour it. My biggest tip to get your husbands involved or to get them to help would probably just to be like, oh quick, we just need to spend 10 minutes, can you quickly do this for me please? And don't like tell them, ask them, be like, babe, do you mind if you do this? Do you mind if you go and do some hoovering for me quickly? I've just got to run upstairs and do this, or whatever else. I never force him to do anything. I'd never say, babe, you've got to do this now. Like, I just wouldn't. At the end of the day, he's an adult. We're meant to be partners and work as a team. So yeah, don't force your partners into doing anything. Just ask them. The majority of the time, if you say it in a nice enough way, they'll do it because they love you. Yes, I do nag. I'm like any other woman when it comes to cleaning and their husbands, but hopefully that should help you. So guys, they are all the cleaning questions that I have time for. This video, I'm already worried, is slightly over the top for a cleaning Q&A. But like I said, I am going to do another Q&A, a part 2. If you have any other questions that aren't cleaning related, then obviously comment them below and I will try and answer them for you in the next Q&A, along with the other questions that I already have to answer. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I would also love it if you press the little bell notification. If you don't press the bell notification, you might miss some of my videos when they go live. So if you do that, you can guarantee that you'll see them and you'll be notified when I post a new video. And I will see you all again for another video shortly. Bye guys.